In this video, I'm going to show you some sketches and photographs taken from the world-famous and historically significant Great Exhibition, which was held in London in 1851. It was here that Britain flexed its collective muscles to show the world what the future looked like. I'm going to show you a small snapshot of the innovations and inventions that were on display there, produced in a tiny country, Britain, that was dominating the world at that time. For context, I want to start with the Great Exhibition itself. Within a few decades, the United States of America would overtake Britain, but in 1851, it was a world beater. Britain and Brits of the day were streets ahead of any other country in the world. It was the world's leading military and economic powerhouse, and it was the only fully industrialised nation on Earth. The British Empire was the largest the world had ever seen, and it was set to get much bigger. Britain dominated the oceans, world trade, and industry. It was against that backdrop that the idea of a great exhibition was hatched. Members of the Royal Society for the Encouragement of the Arts, Manufacturers and Commerce wanted a global exhibition. They recognised they were in a moment in time. Travellers from overseas were amazed with what they saw in Britain. It was light years ahead. So a great exhibition seemed an obvious step. Wanted the exhibition to say to the world that Britain is best, and we're doing things a little differently. They wanted to show off to the world. Yes, they wanted it to be known as an international exhibition, open to all to exhibit their wares. But make no mistake, the intention was to show off Britain as the world leader in industry, and to show off the innovations and inventions that were propelling the country to huge economic prosperity. We have sketches and photographs of much less than 0.5% of what was exhibited during those incredible 5 months in London. Images from inside the event are rare, and I've put together the best of them for this video. Photographs and sketches of inventions from 1851 that shook the world. The Great Exhibition of the Works of Industry of all nations, also known as the Great Exhibition, was conceived of in 1850. One of its key supporters was Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert. On the 1st of May 1851, it opened its doors for 5 months to show off the inventions and innovations of 14,000 exhibitors to an eager public. Britain sought to prove its own superiority, and to be fair, it did have a lot to shout about. It was written in 1950 that the British exhibits at the Great Exhibition held the lead in almost every field where strength, durability, utility and quality were concerned, whether in iron and steel, machinery or textiles. Through our modern and sophisticated eyes, it's probably difficult for us to grasp why this event was so popular amongst the great and the good and the masses. But to early Victorians, the sight of vulcanised rubber, a telegraph machine, a powered plough for use on farms was mind-boggling. To quote from Arthur C. Clarke, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Well, today we might say that FaceTiming someone overseas or virtual reality is indistinguishable from magic. To me, an iPhone is indistinguishable from magic. People in 1851 thought the same about steam trains thundering down the track at 40 miles an hour. Or watching a man plough a field without a horse. These inventions and innovations must have seemed like magic. To us now, they're crude and basic. But we can't deny that it's these inventions and innovations of the early Victorian period that put us on a road to where we are today. Suddenly, food could be produced quicker. Clothes could be produced faster. And we could travel further. And all of this before the electrical revolution. The building for the Great Exhibition was in itself a modern miracle of the day. It stunned every visitor to the exhibition, and it was quite a statement. It said that Britain was the only country in the world who could do such a thing. It was immediately dubbed the Crystal Palace. It was made of cast iron and glass plate, and it was huge. It was 3 times the size of St. Paul's Cathedral. It was 1,851 feet long. Can you see what they did there in 1851? And it reached a height of 128 feet. 60,000 glass panes were used in its construction, so the building did not require interior lights. This breathtaking Crystal Palace astonished anyone who saw it. 6 million people attended over the 5 months to experience the building and stand in awe at the exhibits displayed. That's almost a third of the British population at that time. What would be the modern equivalent today? Imagine if the United States put on a World Trade Exhibition in Central Park. They would invite everyone from around the world to come and exhibit, but the main attractions would be American. The giant tech companies and the world-beating aerospace companies would all take centre stage. They'd probably even get Coca-Cola to sponsor the event. The Great Exhibition of 1851 actually did have a sponsor, one of the world's oldest soft drinks firms, Schweppes. Even doing that was a century ahead of its time. The Great Exhibition of 1851. Sponsored by Schweppes. In many countries around the world, life hadn't changed much for hundreds of years. 1851 wasn't much different than 1651. But 170 years ago, 6 million people in Britain travelled by train to attend an event sponsored by Schweppes, held in one of the world's largest buildings, which was made of glass and iron. In 1851, this modern marvel was built in Hyde Park. We can plot its exact location on a map today. Here's the exact spot where it stood. The Great Exhibition at the Crystal Palace was opened by Queen Victoria. It wasn't hard to get her involved because her husband was one of the main organisers and supporters of the event. Not only did she open it, she visited the exhibition 34 times over a 5-month period. Queen Victoria, back in those days, was a hard person to book for your event, but it was her beloved husband's pet project, and I'm sure she was being the supportive wife. Even in 1851, it was who you know. The Great Exhibition was an enormous success. Just the cheap tickets sold to ordinary folk brought in £30 million in today's money. At the end of the exhibition, in October 1851, it was dismantled piece by piece and moved to South London. A nearby neighbourhood was called Crystal Palace in its honour. In 1905, a football team was started from within the building, and they play now in England's Premier League, Crystal Palace FC. In 1936, the glass and iron building burnt to the ground, and that's where the story of the Crystal Palace comes to an end. But its legacy lives on through the inventions and innovations displayed there in 1851. Today, that exact spot in Hyde Park is just a lawn. But that's hallowed turf. I would argue that the modern world started on that spot. Over this next few minutes, I can transport you into the Crystal Palace, thanks to some rare photographs and sketches taken of the event in 1851. We can see some of the exhibitions, the inventions and innovations that changed our world. All of the images I'm about to show you are either photographs taken inside of the Crystal Palace or engravings made of the exhibits on display there, starting with this ultra-accurate clock mechanism from Dent. The Future Model House, a pet project of Prince Albert. One was actually built, and it's still there in Hartford. Vulcanized rubber was brand new. It was strong and durable, allowing for many new uses. A steam hammer from Naismith. A new propeller was on display from Mr. Penrith. Fromont's turbine. A travelling crane powered by steam. Frederick Bakewell's facsimile machine, first demonstrated at the Great Exhibition. It was also known as an image telegraph. A lathe for railway wheels from Sharp Brothers. Thermometer apparatus. Agricultural implements in the exhibition grounds from Busby's. A patented tile-making machine from Mr. Hart. Marine signals from Retty. An anti-friction press from Mr. Dick. A seed drill patented by Hornsby's. A powerful self-acting planing machine from Sharp's. The epurator machine for cleaning cotton by Rizla. Machinery for the splitting and brushing of seeds by Wedlake. A theodolite and electromagnetic apparatus by Froment. A revolutionary telegraph machine from Alexander. A numerical printing machine from Harold. Cast iron gates from the Colebrook Dale Company. The new Cornwall Express train from the London and North West Railway Company. A weighing machine from Young's. Marine engines by Penn. A portable steam engine with 4 horsepower by Turner. A portable steam engine with 6 horsepower by Burrell. The revolutionary double jacquard loom for intricate fabrics by Barlow's. A typograph machine. A soda water machine by Tyler & Sons. A cutting machine by Harold's. State-of-the-art telescopes by Buron. A centrifugal washing machine by Manlove, Elliott & Co. A tooth extractor from Gilbert's. Chocolate making machines from Herman. Coffee roasting apparatus from Dakin. Automatic transfer apparatus for mail trains from Dicker. An entire room was reserved for the latest looms and textile machinery. A flax machine developed for spinning yarn in the textile industry. A patented refrigerator from Lawrence. A riveting machine from Fairbairn. A patented printing machine by Applegarth. A printing machine by Cowper. A sugarcane crushing mill powered by steam by Robinson and Russell. An artificial hand by Major Little. The London Fringe Power Loom by Reed & Co. A self-registering thermometer by Brooke. A coffee globe roaster by Laws. An improved fire brigade engine. A thermometer stand by Lawson. A steam engine by Hick & Son of Bolton. An iron thrashing machine by Barrett & Co. An anchor on display just outside the Crystal Palace by Brown, Lennox & Co. Crampton's Express engine from the London and North Western Railway Company. Cotton machinery by Hibbert, Platt & Sons. A weighing machine by Morris. Agricultural implements on display in the grounds. A self-acting vertical drilling and boring machine from Whitworth's. A sizing and warping machine for textiles by Hornby and Kenworthy. A carding machine for wool by Mercier & Co. The Folkestone high-speed locomotive by Crampton. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please click the like button, because that will help it to spread to more people. And please consider subscribing, that way I might see you again. And please have a look at some of the other content on the channel. There's lots of interesting things on there. Well, very nearly interesting.